And we got them boys down the street.
Man.
Got the boys down the street coming into Chrysler Arena here on Friday, man. And this is one of those games, man, where I get really, really, as an alum, being in those battles, being on the coaching staff for 10 years, this is one of those games that really get my juices flowing, man. And it was crazy last night, man. We took my wife out for dinner, and we had steak. And she ordered some green beans, and I said, "Man, I'm not eating no green beans this week. I'm not eating green beans. I'm not eating no salads. I'm not eating no broccoli. Nothing green. I'm eating this week because this is the Michigan State Michigan week. Yeah. So I had a nice steak, but I ain't eating the green beans. So don't give me no salad. Don't give me nothing with green in it this week. But looking ahead to this game, man, this is a huge game. Michigan is first in the Big Ten. Michigan State is right on their heels, being 12-3, and Michigan is 12-2. So, I mean, and we talked about this earlier. I think it's going to come down to that last game of the season up there at the Breslin for the Big Ten championship. But this game this week will be a big indicator on who is going to be in prime position to be in position when that game happens, man. So, what are your early thoughts? And, man, just give us, looking back on this rivalry that you played in and I played in. What's your thoughts on just this rivalry in general?
Man, it's one of the more intense rivalries in the country, right? Not just amongst the players, but amongst the fans as well. Like whether it's in Chrysler or it's at the Breslin, there's gonna be a hostile atmosphere for the away team. Like I remember back we used to before we would play them, you would see like before social media, you watch the news, right?
Yeah.
And you would see like the local news reports, like leading up to our game, Tom Izzo was putting helmets and shoulder pads on his guys in practice so they can up the physicality, right? I don't know if he's still doing that, but this is like, that's just how physical is. Going into play against Michigan State, you had to embrace all the, not just some, but all the physical elements of basketball if you want to give yourself a chance to win, right?
All the smoke, all the physical. You're right.
If you do those things, you match it, you give yourself a chance to win because they've it's a typical Michigan State team. They don't shoot it very well.
Yep.
They're going to push the pace. They're going to play extremely hard. On defense, they're going to be heavy helping the gaps with those blocks and elbows principles. And you have to be strong with the ball, and you have to make quick and decisive decisions. If you dilly-dally or if you unsure about what you're doing, it's going to be a deflection or some sort. They're going to strip you. It's going to be some sort of turnover. They're going to be off to the races. So it's one of those games where you have to bring your A game. Both teams, you bring your A game and you duke it out and shoot. May the best man win.
May the best man win, man. And this is that one of those games that you gotta prepare for both physically and mentally. Like, and that's I think the mental part is probably the bigger part because it's gonna be the fanfare, it's gonna be the atmosphere. You're gonna be ready to go. You're gonna be amped up. There's gonna be people in the stands who are never there. It's gonna be a maze out, or it's gonna be a white out at Breslin. So you got to prepare mentally to be able to execute the game plan to a T. Right? The coach is gonna have you prepared, but you got to be able to go out there and execute this game plan. And man, and this is. I did a speech, a couple years ago to our guys. I told them, I said, this is one of those games where you not only playing for the name on the front of the jersey, right? You playing for the name on the back of your jersey, but you also playing for the name on the back of the jersey who ever has played at the University of Michigan, right? You playing for everybody who's ever put a jersey on at the University of Michigan. And that's how much this game means to everybody who has affiliation, who loves Michigan, who's played at Michigan, who's coached at Michigan, who's been a manager at Michigan, who's been a student at Michigan. Like, you're playing for all of those folks for bragging rights. And, this is always a special game, man. And it's always some fun things that happen. There's always some crazy things that happen. And it's been a battle, over the past few years of going back and forth and battling, man. So,
and the dislike is genuine.
It's definitely genuine.
It's
so as much as you hear Draymond talk about that, the dislike is genuine. The respect for the coaching staff and all that, and is there, but the dislike
is genuine.
It's genuine. Yes, that's why I said this week, don't give me nothing green. I don't want no green beans. Can't eat no salad. None of that. Not this week. All right, so let's get into our keys to victory for this game, man. And you look at some of the stats down here of these guys, but these are our keys to victory. And you talked about it and alluded to this a little bit earlier as you talked about these keys to victory. And, the MO for Michigan State is they want to push the pace. They want to play early in transition. So you have to stop their early transition offense. They want to get the ball out quick on makes or misses. And then especially on live ball turnovers, they look to push the pace, get out and run. They got athletes. They playing 10 deep. So guys are expected to go in there and run at 1,000% every time you're in there on the game. So Michigan must protect the ball. And then they got to, in turn, match up with these guys in early transition. Whether we make a shot or miss a shot, we better be sprinting back, finding that, and stopping that point guard who's looking to pitch the ball up the sidelines or either cross that court and use that big that's rolling and sprinting down the middle as a screen that he can navigate and kind of weave by to get early opportunities in transition. And second thing for Michigan State, you got to control the defensive glass. Like we said before, this team is not a great shooting team from the outside. And one of the staples of them has been a tough, hard-nosed team that's crashing the glass and trying to get extra possessions. So you got to control it. You got to box out. You got to secure rebounds on every possession, because since there's not a great shooting team, there's going to be opportunities for them to get extra rebounds. So we got to stop that. And then for them,
like playing Gary Westside in high school, you knew they weren't gonna make no jumpers.
Oh, come on now, we had shooters, baby. We had shooters. We had shooters. We had shooters. And then thirdly, well, I don't want to get too much off talking. We can go head for head on that. But thirdly, you got to play physical defense if you're Michigan without fouling, all right? So since Michigan State is not a great shooting team, you don't want to give these guys easy possessions by getting them into the bonus, fouling these guys and getting them to the free time. Michigan State is averaging over 18 made free throws a game, right? So they're attacking downhill. They're trying to get fouled. They're trying to get to the paint. They know that's another way for them to score is getting to the foul line early and often. So if you're Michigan, you got to be physical. You got to meet that physicality, but you can't foul these guys unnecessary. You got to make them earn every bucket when they're out there on the court.
Yeah, if they're averaging over 18 made free throws a game, that kind of makes up for the lack of three-point shooting, right?
Yeah.
18 free throws, that's 6 threes, right? So, so it kind of makes up for the lack of three-point shooting at times. But I think with Michigan's pace and the way we shoot the ball, especially at home, I think they're going to be at a big deficit if they can't make a few three-pointers here and there, a couple timely threes.
Yeah, that's 100%. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one, man. So let's get into this film. We'll get into this film, man, and we'll get into our personnel right now. Some of Michigan State's key players so we can break it down. You guys can see what they're good at, what their strengths are, and how Michigan will need to defend these guys to be successful. So first up is Jaden Akins.
Yep, Jaden Akins has a good-looking left-handed stroke, right? I think since he's been there, they've been hoping that he develop into a more consistent outside shooter. Yep. But what he does really well, he attacks the rim really well off of dribbles in multiple situations, right? So there's his jump shot. Like we talked about before about guys not really having the best percentages, but being capable. He's a guy that's capable of making threes if you leave him open.
For sure.
Right.
Streaky shooter can hurt you if he gets going.
Right, but what he really wants to do, what he's really good at doing, is putting the ball on the floor, as you'll see here. Michigan State gets a little ball movement, and he rejects the screen, attack the big right downhill, right.
Quick first step, extremely athletic and agile at the basket.
Yep, out in transition, like we talked about, they want to push the pace, fears, probing, ball reversal, attacking the rim.
Yep, got his feet moving on the catch, and he's attacking that rim with strength. That's what he likes to do.
Again, right there, he's taking off before he even catches it.
That's called a go and catch right there. You go before you even catch it. You got your feet moving, and he's really good at going and catching. And like I said before, athletic and agile at the basket with his finishes.
Yep, rejects, goes baseline against Illinois. Finish on the other side with the left hand.
Extremely quick first step, man. Loves that jab and go. Loves to reject ball screens. Jab and go.
All right.
See that move.
There it is again. Finishing at the rim. Now we're going to get into Jase Richardson, right? I think he's a really good. I really like his game, right? He plays. I like his ability to navigate pick and rolls and ball screens. I really like his ability to handle the ball and play in tight spaces at his size. He has a younger brother that's coming through. Not sure if he's going to end up at MSU, but he's a very talented player. Very talented player.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He's got good feel, good pace. You know, he has that pro level pace and feel with
Yeah,
his dad being Jason Richardson. You know, he's going to get that honest. But he has a really, really nice game. And over the last few games, you look at those numbers right there, 10.7 points per game. But I know over the last 3 games, he's been averaging about 17 a game.
yeah,
So he's been playing very, very well since he's been in the starting lineup. And he's definitely a guy right now who's climbing up the draft boards and is a guy that you got to account for because he can hurt you in a lot of ways out there on the court.
yeah. Once again, not great percentage wise, but a capable 3-point shooter.
Capable 3-point. If he
Shoots
gets
it with
going,
confidence.
with confidence, he can hurt you by making those shots. And really good player in the pick and roll, at keeping guys in jail, playing in pace, snaking the ball screen, and
Yes,
making
sir.
plays out of that. And like I said, that's that pro game, that pro pace and feel that he has, and he's really good at that. So Michigan can't be as far back as this dude is on this drop coverage. If we play drop coverage in the Big Ten logo, he's got to be up more closer to the level of the ball
Yeah,
to impact that a little more. But Jase Richardson is a really good player in these areas.
yeah. I think he's a special player in these areas. The way he's able to navigate this, you don't see too many college point guards able to. Like that's kept him in jail for a second, snaked it into a step back jumper. Right, that's nice. That's a pro. That's a pro move. That's a pro game for a guard. Right. Same thing. They put him in a lot of high ball screen situations. Snaking again, shot fake, show it. Nice finish.
Good feed work right there. No, he's got great pace, great feel, man. You got to make him uncomfortable in those situations.
Yeah,
Bully over those ball screens, stay in his hip pocket, and the big's got to be active. And that's a great read off of a screen right there. That's just a regular basketball play. Nothing sexy about it. Great read. Guys tries to go under the screen. He steps back, creates space, and he's able to knock those shots down.
that's old school right there. Basic floppy action. He can go either way. They were getting ready to set the double here. Guy goes over the top. He bumps it.
Reads the screen, steps on it, step and shoot.
That's old school right there. That's what they would call old school these days.
Yeah, that's all. That's basketball. That's old school.
Yeah, that's real basketball, right? Turns the corner right here, gets his left hand. So guys like Roddy Gill, Reuben Jones, they're gonna have to use their size and athleticism to really bother him and get him. If you can speed, he might be a guy that you try to speed up, right? If you allow him to play at his pace and in his comfort zone, like you said, he can hurt you. He can hurt you. Right. Once it may seem like the same clip, gets downhill, really good mid-range game. Right. A lot of coaches are discouraging that. Also get out of transition. He's not like his dad, but he can get up and
He can
finish.
get up. You can put it in. Huh? Said his dad would have probably threw that between his legs and then threw it down.
And now we're going to get into some Jaxon Kohler clips. Right. Kohler's active, big, active on the offensive glass, versatile, can step out and knock down threes. Right. He's kind of like the heart or the glue guy or the guy who brings the emotional energy for their team. You see him make plays, getting guys fired up, right? Sprinting down the middle of the floor straight to the rim. Hollman finds him, easy finish.
Yeah, and those are
Right here.
non-negotiable for the Michigan State bigs. Sprinting down the middle of that lane, and like you say, he's another guy just active around the rim. So on this play, he's active. He's trying to get offensive rebounds, and these guys are relentless on the glass. So you got to do a good job of putting bodies on them early and keeping them off the glass.
Yep. Little side ball screen action. Like I said, he's pretty versatile himself. He won't put it on the floor very much, but can step out and knock down threes.
Yeah, if you dare him to shoot, he can make those.
Yep. Not a high percent, 33% shooter. So it's not a great percentage, but like we keep saying there, he's a capable 3-point shooter.
You can't dare him to shoot. He can make those if you dare him.
In the post, he wants to go over that left shoulder. He's gonna fight to get to that left shoulder.
Yep, undersized, don't have as much lift, but he does have some strength and good footwork down there and good touch around the rim.
Yeah, right. Like those, that's not really open, right? He's determined to get to that left shoulder. Creates an angle, gets there right here late in the game, carve out space on the glass. Boom. Gonna have to block him
Easy
out.
buckets opportunity and no and ones. I hate and ones like that. In that situation, yeah, you got to get to the line and earn 2 free throws. I'm not giving you an and one. You're
Yeah.
definitely not getting that shot up. I'm following you hard on that. So that's the mentality that Michigan has to have coming into this game too. No easy buckets down there like that, giving up and ones that somebody didn't earn. Make them earn it at the line.
Yep. Get into some Tre Hollman clips. He's just trying to get downhill, right? He's gonna get downhill. I think his counter, if he's not able to, he'll pull up and shoot the mid range jump shot. But he's trying to get downhill.
And Tre Hollman and Fears have been kind of their double-headed monster at the point guard. So between the two of those guys, they're about averaging a double-double in points and assists. So they're getting it from a lot of different ways. And Tre is relentless, man. He's creative. Like he can get going from the outside. He's another player who's streaky from three. Not consistently great from three, but can get going if you let him see daylight early and let him get confidence early.
Loves to turn the corner on this Horns action. This is one of their favorite sets. Loves to turn the corner, especially in the Purdue game. Right? Side ball screen, they don't get anything, they get it back to him, and he's just high ball screen, shoulders on the rim, snakes it. Nice finish.
Tag of creativity. Great play by him.
All right. This example of him side ball screen, good patience.
Super lucky roll on that, but
super lucky.
Can't let him get going. That's with all of these guys. Can't let him get comfortable.
All right, let him get to his mid range pull up going right. He's shooting with confidence. All right. Now we're gonna get to some trend. Like you said, they want to get out in transition. Their first thing, whether it's a steal, made shot, missed shot. Let's say it again. Missed shot or make.
They're getting it out quick.
Yeah, they're trying to run. All right, this is steal here.
And these are the live ball turnovers that you can't have because you always got that dude in Cohen Carr who's trying to tear the roof off the place and throw down some acrobatic dunk. So the live ball turnovers in Michigan. Here goes another live ball play we saw earlier, right? With Jaxon Kohler sprinting down the middle of the lane, and that's what they want to do first and foremost. That's what they want to do.
Look at this, Chris. Fears rebound 30.
Pitch up the sideline.
26
to a finish.
4 seconds.
4-second finish.
Telegraph it. They're gonna play passing lanes. Can't give them these type of for teams that can't shoot.
You can't give them the easy
break dunks and easy lob dunks at the rim. Not only does it energize their team, but it gives them more confidence when they do step out and shoot those 3-pointers. So you cannot give them those easy plays. I don't know what Lawyer's doing right here, Chris.
But this is a great example of what you talked about before, the heavy gap defense. So if you run it back and stop it right there, boom. So Michigan State is going to be heavy in these gaps. So you're not going to be able to drive without a defensive player heavy in that gap. So they force you to make the first easy decision, and we got to play out of it, right? So Foster Lawyer on this play just hit C.J. Cox. You got Fittler in the gap, heavy, strong. You're not going to be able to gap snatch Michigan State all night and get to the lane. So you got to make that first easiest, obvious pass, move it, and let's create some offense on the other side because Michigan State is notorious for being heavy in these gaps and not allowing you to drive to the bucket.
I think where we can hurt them is with that type of heavy dig and heavy help. There's no way he'll be able to get back to a Namari or a Roddy Gale or
Trey Donaldson or Rubin. Like we got shooters out there, so if you get that type of gap, make the easy, obvious pass early. Move it. Get off the ball and let that secondary guy make a play.
Lawyer gets absolutely just undressed right there.
But at Breslin, you're not getting that call. And this is what they do. They run the floor.
He didn't get fouled. They just took his lunch money. Like you said, here it is once again. Lazy, not paying attention with the ball. They are active on defense. Fears gets the tip. We out of there. It's not really an advantage right now, right? It's 3-on-3.
Off to the
But they're
races,
gonna
but they're
push it.
sprinting.
Yeah, they're gonna force it.
And that's the pogo stick right there, Cohen Carr, man. Get off the floor with the easiest of ease. And you can't let him electrify their team or their fans.
Pushing the pace again. Got to stop the ball in transition. I think a counter that I've seen teams do to them over throughout the course of the year to try to slow them down is make or miss. We got to pick the point guard up full court, right? Because a lot of teams now they have two pushers because they're try to get to some sort of two-sided break. They have two pushers with outlet guy on each side. Michigan State still runs a traditional outlet system where there's only one outlet. So if you keep a guy up here to pressure him, guy back, guy up the floor, pressure him, you can kind of slow down their break.
Yeah, you can stunt that break a little bit by doing that, and we'll see what type of game plan Michigan comes out with, because that's definitely
7 seconds, Chris.
That's 7 seconds. I mean, this is the
That's a
first thing
made
you have
shot.
to stop.
A made shot, right? Ball goes through the net.
Get it
made
out.
shot.
Like we said with Kohler before, don't dare him to shoot. He can make those.
They got a shot up in 6 seconds. Balls through the net in 7. They're playing at a high pace right there. Right. Once again, ball goes through the net again. See, that forced so they want Fears and Hollman to catch the ball above the free throw line, up the floor. That way they can push the ball, push the pace quicker, right?
Yep.
So Cox comes down and picks him up early, sees the ball going through the net. So he steps up and enforces. See that? He's already lower than he wants to because he knows he's coming. So now that forces him to banana cut back to the ball. So now he's catching the ball even lower. So I think that's something that Michigan can employ to kind of slow down Michigan State's break. But they get the ball. They want to push off makes and misses and get into offense. We're going to kind of stop it because this is not a Michigan State show. Right? Out the net again, pushing the transition. 1 pass, 2 pass up the floor. Right? We can keep it running, but we're going to stop it because this is not a Michigan State show. Right? Ball through the net again. They're gone. Pushing the pace. Right? Could keep it going. Once again, this is not a Michigan State show.
This is not a Michigan State show. But this is the theme of it, man. They like to really, really push the pace, and that's the first thing for Michigan State that you have to stop. Right? You got to stop their early transition.
Second thing, I'll let you take the lead on this one, but they average 12 offensive rebounds per game?
Averaging 12 offensive rebounds. And for a team who's not shooting the ball great from the field and from three-point line, I mean, this has been a staple of theirs anyway. They attack the glass and they try to get multiple possessions. So you got to limit their offensive rebound opportunities. And you see Cohen Carr coming in from the wing like he's jumping off a trampoline. You got to put bodies on people and hit them. Foster Loyer over there in the corner, he's in a tough spot. He's got to, try to crack down on Carson Cooper, and you leave Cohen Carr for an open lane like that. This is what Michigan State does. So you got to limit those second chance opportunities.
And throughout the course of the season, we've kind of struggled with teams that had wings that crash the glass from the perimeter. So we're going to have to be really focused in that aspect, right? We've seen this clip already. They had 2 guys there waiting for it, crashing the glass.
Can't go for a block. 2 guys go to challenge a shot, leave a guy open on the offensive glass, and this is how they create points and momentum for themselves, getting on that glass, getting on that board. So you got to put bodies on folks. You don't need multiple people contesting shots. You need one great contestant. I need body on body, a hat on a hat, as they say in football.
They down there working. That shot goes up. Look, the shot is up. They're both behind their guy, right?
So they're doing a great job of wedging, anticipating those shots and wedging because they know where the shots are coming from. So they're trying to get their position before the shot even goes up. And that's what they're good at doing. And we got to be able to anticipate that and don't get caught sleeping. Don't get caught out to lunch out there. We got to do our work early in boxing these guys out.
I think the last thing we're going to cover is this is a set that they like to run. It's a very basic. It's one of the more basic horn sets that you're going to see in basketball, right? They started here. They start the horn set. If he comes off, the first guy rolls, right? like most horns plays. The first guy is going to roll, right? He's going to roll to the basket. The second guy pops. If he catches it, or he's going to go to a down, some sort of screen on the weak side. But against Purdue, I have no idea what they were doing on defense. Braden Smith is here. This guy's here. No, neither one of them does anything, and they just got dunks at the rim the whole game. So we don't play this properly.
Yeah, you'll get dunks in the rim. And if you go back, the guy who's guarding Kohler on this needs to be, the guy who's in this action, the guy who's guarding Fittler, like right here, he needs to release from Fittler, and he needs to be bumping Carson Cooper to impede his progress slightly going downhill. So you get no bump, you get no bully over the ball screen, and you get no ball pressure by Kaufman Wren in the drop coverage with his hands down by his waist. And if you execute that type of ball screen defense on this particular play, then you'll see a lot of these again on Friday, these lob dunks by Carson Cooper and Zapala from Michigan State.
Every time they go off Carson Cooper's side, he's rolling to the rim.
So there you get a slight bump by Camden Heidi, but not good enough. You're not good enough on the ball. Kaufman Wren had a poor defensive night as I watched this game too. Like, this is no real pressure on that ball handler to be able to impede that throw or throw it off timing or target. And these guys got several just alley-oop dunks by poor ball screen defense by Purdue.
Right here it is where they get to the backside of the play, right?
Yeah, so horns pop, and then you get a away screen, and now you get Jaden Akins doing what he does. He likes to attack downhill with his athleticism and his agility. And
looked like they made it a point to attack Kaufman Wren in the ball screen actions. Or in the
ball screen actions, screening actions. Like I said, he had a poor defensive day. And they did a good job of attacking him in a lot of different ways. And his ball screen and impact on the ball handler was poor in this game all night. So we'll have to do a better job of that if we're Michigan coming into this. Because if you watch this at Michigan State, I'm going to run this action again. And if you're the coaches on Michigan staff, we're going to prepare for this action because it worked so well against Purdue.
Yeah, and here it is what you talk about. Kaufman Wren once again in no man's land. And Big Fella actually is there, but he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's there, but he doesn't tag him. He doesn't stop. He doesn't impede his progress. He's still rolling straight down the rim. And that's just, it's hard to defend that when you don't execute that properly.
Yeah. No, so that's one of the more common actions that Michigan is going to see, man. They're going to have to really tag rollers. You know, I would maybe look into doing, we call it jump switching, the fly switching with the bigs. You know, I mean, Michigan does a lot of switching already, so I'm pretty sure Dusty is definitely going to be prepared for that and have the guys ready to defend that, especially after watching how many easy buckets they got against Purdue with that action. So,
we'll have a lot of different coverages, and you know, even from the last game at Ohio State, I saw some different things implemented in the ball screen. I saw us up to the line again a little bit. I saw some drop coverage. I saw some switches. So we're starting to add some more tools to our toolbox when it comes to pick and roll coverage, which has been really good. And it's going to be an interesting battle on Friday night, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's always a fun week when you get that rivalry week with first starting off with Ohio State, and now you got Michigan State coming in here on Friday. Like, this is a huge week, and you as a player, as a fan, like, you look forward to these type of weeks. It's going to be a great atmosphere for first place in the Big Ten, man.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's going to be huge. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, whoever wins this one will be in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? They both got some pretty big games, but then the big one is the one that's going to be at this one, and the one at the Breslin, I think, going to be the two games that decide, you know, who wins the Big Ten regular season championship this year.
Hey, and that's how it should be, man. You know, coming down to the line, last game of the season against your rival, go in there and get it done, man. We had that situation a couple years ago with our team, with Iggy Brasdeikis, when we were very, very highly touted and weren't able to get any of those games. We had 3 opportunities to get those guys and win a Big Ten championship in the regular season and in the Big Ten tournament, and weren't able to get it done. So, I mean, that's how it should be, man. And with Michigan and Michigan State battling it out, it's great to have both of these programs in the top 15 in the country, both of them in the top 5 in the Big Ten. Like this is great stuff right here for the Big Ten and for these two programs. So I'm looking forward to it. You got a prediction, man? Give me a prediction. I know you don't like to do predictions. Give me a prediction for this game.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it like I've been saying. Hey, a 2-possession win by Michigan. You can go anywhere from 4 to 6 points, right, for 2 possessions. I predict a 2-possession win by Michigan. I think we're gonna play tough. We're gonna meet the challenge physically. I think Dusty's going to have even more wrinkles in his bag as far as you might even see a little bit more zone this game, given their Michigan State shooting percentages, right? So I think that's been something that they've gone to a lot recently to kind of give a change of pace and throw a wrinkle out of timeout situations, kind of how we've been prepared offensively to come out and run something after a timeout. Other teams do that as well, and Dusty's done great jumping in zone and kind of throwing off their game plan. So I think Dusty's gonna have those guys ready to go. They gotta pretty much have a week to prepare, right? So I think you're gonna get both teams' best game this Friday.
Oh yeah. I like it, man. I say 82-74 Michigan win. It's gonna be a great all around game by everybody. I think we'll be able to impose our will like we have been with our 2 7-footers, and I think Tre Donaldson will have a really good game this game, and he seems to get a little bit of extra spark, in Chrysler, man. He got a little extra pop to his step. He's going to get downhill, create. And then we got a lot of veteran guys, man. I know, we got a lot of guys who haven't played in this rivalry, but the guys I know who are in that locker room with, Namari Burnett and Will Cheddar, and you got Jace Howard, and you got, a couple of walk-on guys, and Ian Burns and Harrison Hochberg. I know all of those guys will have them ready for the test that's ahead of them in this rivalry game, because it's unlike any others, man. It's one of the biggest rivalries ever, and this game is always a charged atmosphere and different from any other game you're playing. So I'm excited to see it, man. It's going to be fun. 82-74 is my prediction.
Okay, I like that. I was looking at it from Roddy Gale's perspective, right? He's played in the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry on both sides. Now he's getting to see the Michigan State rivalry from the Michigan angle. So he's going to have a unique Big Ten experience by the time he graduates.
Oh yeah. All over, man. He like a mercenary, man. He's going on every side. He's getting it done. So man, this is great, man. I can't wait to get back on here and do our reaction video for this game. That's going to be fun. And hopefully you guys learned a lot of stuff about, first and foremost, Ohio State, but the keys to victory to get this game done against Michigan State, man. And let's see if our coaching prowess holds up, man, with some of the keys to the victory. I think it will. I think our Wolverines will. And until next time, man, this is the Big Game Podcast. If you like the content, like it, subscribe to us, man. Comment to us on stuff that you like to see or topics that you may want to see us cover. And we're looking forward to keep bringing you this content. And until next time, man, we'll see you. Peace. Go blue. And I might even have a remix to the victors after we win this game on the next episode. Stay tuned for the Chris Herner Hail to the Victors remix on the next episode of the Big Game Podcast. Stay tuned to that. Peace.